book lovers. I'm Haley.
And I'm McCayleigh. Welcome to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist,
The official podcast for the Facebook group, All Things Book Related.
We're two besties who are here to share our love for unforgettable characters, unpredictable storylines, and the books we just can't put down.
From our all-time favorites to the latest releases, we're bringing you deep dives, hot takes, and maybe a little friendly disagreement.
So grab your favorite read and let's get ready for some bookish fun.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. We are so glad that you're here with us today. We have got a super fun episode planned for you guys.
That's right. Today's episode is all about Onyx Storm.
Yeah.
If you've read it, you know it's packed with jaw-dropping moments, steamy romance, and of course, those plot twists we love to dissect.
Yes, we are going to be sharing our thoughts on the book, what we loved, what had us screaming. We're also going to be diving into some theories for what could happen in the next book. Let me just say, Rebecca Yarros knows how to keep us guessing.
Yeah, seriously though, if you're caught up on Onyx Storm or just love Rebecca Yarros as much as we do, let's just get into it.
And if you're not caught up, guys, fair warning, this episode is going to be filled with spoilers. So hit pause, finish the book, come back to this episode and chat with us, or if you're not going to read it at all, so sad, you'll miss out, but join us for next week's episode.
Yes. All right, let's go ahead and dive into Onyx Storm. Haley, where do we even begin?
Somewhere where I know for sure I want to begin, and I'm going to stand on my soapbox for like maybe a minute, because there were some headlines. We all saw them the week that Onyx Storm was released. Mm-hmm. There was one headline that just really got to me. I won't say which outlet it was, who wrote it, but the headline was "The Rise of Rebecca Yarros, the Mother of Dragon Smut." Come on, that headline, when I read it, I was so infuriated. I screenshotted it, I texted it to Edgar, and he did not understand. Boys do not understand. He doesn't get it. But reducing a book series to something that it's not is just so annoying. And to label Rebecca Yarros like this is just not only unfair, but it's also incredibly disrespectful, and it belittles all of her hard work with the Empyrean series. She has created such a rich, multifaceted story. I am genuinely upset about it, and there was someone on Instagram, I asked her for permission if I could read her post on our podcast, so let me go to it really quick. I should have had it pulled up before, but I forgot.
Is it? I have one pulled up because I saved it. Is it this one by Samantha Block?
Well, you read yours. What does yours say?
All right. It says, "No one calls Game of Thrones murder porn, but the second a woman writes a successful fantasy series with romance, emotion, and female power, suddenly it's fairy porn. Women have spent decades reading fantasy that sidelines, brutalizes, or ignores us. Now we're turning to a genre that finally lets us be the heroes. And somehow, that's controversial." So, I mean, Game of Thrones, like all these movies and books that have already existed before this era of women creating all these new fantasy genres. Like, these things had really hurt women in a negative way, but it was never called porn. It was just a man being a hero and saving all these women from being raped or whatever. And then there was also some stats that I found. I don't know if they're in this specific post, but there are maybe 30 pages out of 600 that have smut on them. What is that percentage? It's like very, very small. Most of the books that we're reading that have any kind of smut in them is like 1 to 3%. So it's very little. I also have headlines too. Forget fairy porn. Onyx Storm is the TikTok book sensation you've probably never heard of. Yeah. Very poor fans. Very poor novels. All these are different headlines. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series finally has a competitor as fairy porn novels set to smash UK publishing records. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah. That's horrible. Here's the thing. It's like, why do people dismiss romantasy the moment women start leading the genre? So if male fantasy authors write excessive, vulgar sex, it's epic. Yeah. Epic fantasy. It's an epic moment. And if women write it, if they write romance alongside fantasy, it's immediately porn. Yeah. So, double standard. Yeah, double standard. Men can write fantasy novels with meaningless violence, brutal wars, and graphic sexual violence against women. It's not called murder porn, it's called literary genius. But the second a woman writes a successful fantasy that includes romance, intimacy, or, God forbid, a female protagonist experiencing pleasure, suddenly it's fairy porn and not real literature. And this is an Instagram post by SamanthaBlock.author, and she covered all the bases for me. And this was during the era also. There was one week a publishing company made a comment about
Oh my god. I have got something to say about this too. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go for
But
it.
this publisher, no one's heard of them before. They are coming into the Bookstagram space saying that they are not going to publish books because they have smut in them and that no one needs to read these type of books anymore. I was like, you know what this makes me want to do? It makes me want to write the most smuttiest thing in the whole wide world and give it to them and submit it to them so they have to read it.
It wasn't even that they chose to not publish books that have smut in them. That's fine. You don't have to publish books that have smut in them. What the issue was they clearly stated that it's awful or, it's negative. Yeah. We don't approve of smut. Like, it's bad. And so everyone's like, oh my god, okay. And they were just saying bad things about it.
Yeah.
Which was triggering the whole internet.
Going back to my Rebecca Yarros, I'm almost done, guys. I'm about to step down. But this is from the Literary Gremlin on Instagram. She says, imagine reducing a series about the dangers of propaganda, a corrupt government, and the marginalization of people to the term dragon smut. The Empyrean series has multi-layered world building, political intrigue, chronic illness representation, and complex characters that create a sense of female empowerment. Does it have romance and some spice? Sure, but that shouldn't diminish everything else. These headlines are harmful for the fantasy romance community. She then goes on to say the same thing that McCayleigh was saying, that this happens in fantasy series written by men, but we have never seen these type of headlines about their books before. Ugh, Rebecca Yarros, you deserve better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that makes me angry.
Yeah.
The feminist in me is screaming.
Right. But let's get into our reviews. Do you want to go first?
Yes. So I gave this book a 5-star review, and my review states, bro, the amount of nonstop action in this book is insane. There was literally never a dull moment. How did Miss Rebecca do this? Done. 5 stars.
Done.
Yes.
For me, 5 stars. Also, you can read my full review on Goodreads or on my Instagram. But this completely blew me away. This is my favorite book in the Empyrean series so far. The amount of twists that it had, plot twists that I just didn't expect, it just had me hooked from the very first page. I will say that there were some characters in the first 20 pages. I was like, who is this? Who is this again? Like, what's going on? But that didn't distract me from the story at all. It was so good.
Yeah, a lot of the time I was like, I don't remember you, but I'm gonna keep listening because I listened to this book. And yeah, I just pretended to remember who these people were because I was in the dark.
Yeah.
And then also, it's been a while since I had read Iron Flame.
Yeah.
And so, in most of the book, at the beginning especially, they're like still flying around and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know why you guys are doing this, but I'm here for it. I'm listening to y'all's conversations.
Right.
But I don't know why we're doing this.
And also, something about Onyx Storm, I was so emotionally connected to Violet's dragons on a completely different level than I was back in Fourth Wing or Iron Flame. Every time Taryn got hurt, I would cry. When Andarna left and then came back, I cried. Yeah. I love them so much. To me, they feel like real people. I love them. Yeah.
What is the order you would put these books in terms of most liked to least liked? Yeah.
Onyx Storm, Fourth Wing, and Iron Flame. I mean, I love them all. I think I rated all of them 5 stars. But for me, Onyx Storm was just so much better. I don't know. There was just something about it. The stakes just felt so much higher now, especially with Xaden trying to find a cure for him, and then with Andarna trying to find more of her breed or whatever of dragon. So I like that. Fourth Wing was super easy to get into. I put Iron Flame at the end just because I feel like that one maybe was too long for me or it dragged a little, but I still loved it. I mean, 5 stars for all of them.
Yeah, I would have mine in the same order, and I couldn't tell you what happened in Iron Flame. I don't know why. What happened? I know Fourth Wing, we started.
Yeah.
And then her mom dies at the end of
Yeah.
Iron Flame, and then Xaden turns Venom, but that's all I remember of Iron Flame.
Between point A to point B, whatever happened in between, I don't know.
I mean, those are the important parts. Don't ask me
Yeah.
anything else like about that.
Yeah.
And then Onyx Storm, I don't know. I think it's just part of listening too. I don't feel like as you're listening, you tend to absorb as much as you would actually reading the book, which I accept because I choose to do it anyways.
Right.
Like, retaining, I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Retaining the information for as long as you would like. I don't think you can always do that unless you're just super skilled at your listening abilities. So for me, I think I need to work on that because a lot of the time when we do talk about books, I'm like, what is she talking about? Like, and then I will get surprised because I forgot something or never realized something happened if you bring something up. And when her dad was revealed to be the killer, and I'm like, he was the killer?
Oh no.
And I can already see you being, did you
Like,
read
girl,
the...
yeah.
So anyways, yes.
Do you have like 3 favorite characters from Onyx Storm?
Yes. So I went a little unconventional by choosing Broccoli as one of them.
My gosh, I have so many. Where is Broccoli? Everyone keeps asking Rebecca Yarros, like, whenever she goes to all, like, the meet and greets. They're like, where's Broccoli? Broccoli better not die. I need him. Rebecca was not prepared for the amount of people to get connected to this cat, but I'm here for it. I love him.
No, I'm sure she entirely expected, oh, this is a one scene moment. And then the cat just, we don't have to bring him up ever again because it was just for that scene. So now she's like, oh, I probably need to bring the cat back. So that's probably gonna happen in the next book. We're just gonna see the cat walking around or something, and Darna trying to eat it. And then Riddick. These characters, the side characters, got so much on page time in Onyx Storm. And now you're like, whoa. Imagine if Liam had this much book time and how much harder his death would have been.
Right.
So now she's getting ready to tear our hearts out in these following books is what's happening. So I'm scared of Rebecca. I'm scared of her, and I know exactly what she's doing by having all these characters, you know, be on the pages a little more. And she did that at the end. Was it Quinn's
with
girlfriend?
It was Imogen, right? Isn't that?
Yeah.
I read this book like a month ago. Like, what? Yeah. At the last few pages, there was a chapter from Imogen, and there was also Rhiannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a chapter.
Yeah. Well, so was it Quinn that died?
Yeah, that was sad. And I didn't.
That was very
here's
sad.
the thing about Quinn is I hadn't even thought about Quinn the whole book, but when she died, I cried because of the way that Imogen was talking to her, and she was saying, "You're gonna see Imogen's family wherever you go," and she's like, "They will take care of you," and how they were best friends. I was like, "Oh my god, this is so sad."
That is so sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can feel that. I just wish we had known or had been around when a little more, but we weren't. Not as much as I would have liked, because sometimes I would like for you to rip my heart out. Because she did that in the last letter very well.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So I have trauma still from that. And then Violet, of course. We can't leave out our main girl.
Yeah.
She's the star of the show, and I guess we'll get into the end of the book later. Yeah. But she's going through a lot right now. But what
a girl is going through a lot.
Yeah. What are your 3 favorite characters?
I love Violet so much. Violet in Onyx Storm is still resilient as she was back in Iron Flame and back in Fourth Wing. But in this book, there's just something different about her. She will stop at nothing to help out Xaden, who she loves so much, and also in Darna, who she loves so much, also trying to find in Darna's kind. So I love Violet. Riddick was a standout character for me in Onyx Storm. He was probably my favorite character in Onyx Storm. He made me laugh so many times. And when there was that scene where he was fighting with someone and he got stabbed and it was actually his jacket. I cried. I had to close the book. I was like, oh my god, if Riddick dies right now, I am not emotionally prepared for this. Thank god it was just his jacket. Oh my gosh. But now, Rebecca, you better not kill him in the next book, because I will not be okay. I know. I also love Indarna. Of course, she is still as feisty as she was back in the last 2 books, and I am here for it. I love her so much. I think that Indarna went on this huge journey of finding out who she is and discovering her kind, and also discovering more love for Violet along the way. Like I said before, I cried whenever she left Violet on that island to go with her people, and I cried when she came back. Like, when Indarna came back, I was like, am I reading this right? Like, I had to reread the paragraph, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's back! I love her.
Oh, yeah. Indarna is a cutie.
But let's talk about something that everyone all over TikTok, Instagram, everywhere, that has been talking about since Iron Flame finished, and that's Violet's second signet. Did you like it? Were you impressed with it? What did you think?
I wasn't that impressed.
Yeah.
I was expecting something more physical, crazy, like her lightning, and I was trying to correlate, like, maybe the title of the book, Onyx Storm, like she'll conjure shadows and lightning, and that creates an Onyx Storm. I was really trying to get, because, you know, Rebecca gets all into these titles and tries to tie them into the books. I was like, that's gotta be it. She's gotta do shadows like Xaden and lightning. I was thinking that would be the coolest thing ever. And then it turns out she just goes to sleep. But
yeah,
Dreamwalks. And I mean, I guess it'll be useful. Very useful.
I'm sure.
But I was expecting something more exciting. But I mean,
same.
It might get exciting, you know, later.
I think for me, I thought that Violet's second signet would have more to do with knowledge. And because Violet always wanted to know more. She always wanted to know more. And the thing is, with Dreamwalker, I didn't see, at least for me, I saw no theories about her being a Dreamwalker. There are theories about everything. I didn't see anything about a Dreamwalker. Yeah. I'm sure that Rebecca Yarros is setting us up for this to be like the main point in the next book. I'm sure that this is how Violet will be able to communicate with Xaden in his dreams. Rebecca did kind of warn us before, though, that she didn't think anyone would be impressed with Violet's second signet, but she does say that it is extremely powerful. So that leads me to wonder if Violet could, like, kill people in their dreams. So that will be interesting to see on the next one.
I agree. Was there anything that you wished you had seen in Onyx Storm?
Talked about it earlier. I was a little confused for the first 20 or more pages of the book, just with all these characters. I wish that there was a more in-depth character glossary. We do get one at the beginning, but it's only a couple characters, like Bodhi or Garrick. They're not even on it, so it was kind of weird. I wish that it had a more comprehensive list that outlined every character. I need the professors. What are they teaching? What's their dragon? What's their signet? So I was confused, and it had a lot to do with trying to remember who was what and everything like that.
Yeah, I agree. Because like I was also saying earlier, like, who are you? I wish I had a deeper connection with you before you died, like Quinn and all these things. But I wonder, I guess she only picked the few people to add to that little glossary she had that were traveling with Violet.
Yeah.
Or did Bodhi go? Did Bodhi and Garrick go with Violet? They did? Okay, well then I don't know how she picked those people.
Yeah. And then, like, to me, Bodhi and Garrick are important characters. They weren't even on the list.
Bodhi is very important.
Yeah.
And what did we think about Xaden in this book?
I think that Onyx Storm made me love Xaden even more. I loved Xaden and Violet's tension of him saying that he can't control himself even though he loves Violet so much. So I still love him. He's still my little baby. Love you, Xaden. But did you like him still?
I do, but I don't know. I saw someone write something about how they thought Xaden's character was a little different in this book versus the other 2 books. And so that has really sat with me. So every time I think about Xaden and Onyx Storm now, I'm like, wait, would Xaden from Fourth Wing have made these same choices? Would he have done the same things?
Yeah.
And then I'm also trying to think, okay, well, how much is the venom in him and impacting him? But I also feel maybe Xaden in Iron Flame wouldn't have stopped himself so much from wanting to be with Violet. He's creating so much separation at his own free will, like to be next to her, and I get it's for her own protection, but she's proven that she could handle herself and all these things. So I don't know, I think there's just a fine line between, okay, how much does he have to do in order to, like, I'm not gonna hurt Violet, you know? So that is in the back of my brain, but I do love him. I will always love him.
Something that I saw was that people were saying Onyx Storm, Xaden knew that they would not find a cure for being venom. So he, I guess, was more interested, in his relationship with Violet. I don't know, in Onyx Storm. Or this was like his last hurrah with Violet. I don't know. So, yeah, I did see people saying that he did act a little different. With, finding a venom cure and Xaden knowing that they wouldn't find one. Did you think that they would find one going into this book?
I honestly did not know. And I never theorized whether he would or wouldn't be cured. I don't know, that part of my brain just doesn't turn on with theories too. You are the theorist here. I just read. I'm there for the ride. I'm like, what's gonna happen? I never think twice about it. But now that I've been asked the question, the more you think about it, if he were to have gotten cured, what would the next books in the series be about? Because this is third of what? 5?
5, yeah.
So I think it would be a lot less interesting if they had found the cure by the end of this book. So logically speaking, I think a lot of people would have theorized that they would not have found the cure, because we want him to get worse before he gets better, because right now he's just at the beginning stages, and for the sake of plot we want him to be bad and then hopefully find a way to be good. So but that's
kind of how I thought about it. And another way that I thought about it was early on Xaden had no control. I was like, okay, he's gonna turn full venom, I just know it. And then about the 50% place into the book where they're still hopping around these islands to find Indana's kind, I said, there's not enough time in this book for them to find a cure for Xaden. So then and there, I knew they are not going to find a cure for him. Hopefully they do in the next book, but it's not happening in this one. Now, we are just... Our notes are all over the place, guys, because I wrote these notes so quickly while I was reading the book. But now we're just going to talk about moments that we liked. I've got a ton of theories, so was there...
I did not contribute to these notes right here, because you had so many. I was like, I'm just going to steal some of her ideas. But hang on, I gotta take a look at these. You have so many quotes.
Sorry.
Well, you know what moment I thought was crazy? Was when they were at Xaden's mom's house, and that cake scene drove me crazy. Like, we kind of mentioned Riddick almost dying, but I was like, oh, so that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah.
One thing about this, I did not think that they were going to continue their classes at Basgiath. I thought that they were going to go straight into every single person at Basgiath were going to be put in certain points during the war on certain outposts. I guess it makes sense, though. It reminds me a lot of Harry Potter. Like, when Voldemort came back in Harry Potter, they didn't make all the students go fight, which I guess makes sense. But like, when I read it, I was like, oh, they are not going to go back to school, but they did. So it makes sense.
I see on our notes that you put that you love Dane now, and
I do.
He has redeemed himself. When we were choosing our top 3 characters on our notes, he was there in place of Violet, but I love Violet more. But I agree, Dane is on TikTok now, and everyone's like, oh, I love Dane. This would have never happened before this book.
Right.
But it's so crazy that they trust him so much. And I can't remember what moment it was, but they were like, yeah, Dane is helping us.
Yeah.
And, yeah, Dane is smart.
Yeah. Like when Dane went to go get Violet's dad's research from his dad's office now, I was like, okay, Dane's redeemed himself. I like him a lot more now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one part also that I liked with Dane, they were on one of the islands and they didn't speak whatever language they spoke. And Xaden was going to have one of the seamstresses there make that night dress or whatever for Violet. And he was like, I'm going to stay back. He was telling Violet, y'all go ahead. He was like, come on, Dane, come with me. Because Dane could speak the language. So I'm just picturing Xaden telling Dane, tell these people to make something super sexy for Violet. I was like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. I think it really helped making Dane's dad hate Dane. It helped us like Dane. Because we're like, oh, that's the bad guy. And he's hating on Dane for all these horrible reasons. And so the fact that Dane is also going against his dad.
Yeah.
Like, you're team us.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very telltale sign of, oh, you're on the good guys team. And not that he ever wasn't, but he was always kind of an iffy character that was just,
Yeah.
I was watching a, what was it? A recap video of Fourth Wing or whatever to prepare for Onyx Storm. And in the quick, very fast recap, the person says, oh yeah, in this part, Violet and Dane kissed, and it was the most awkward sibling kiss ever. I know, yeah, I was like, that's weird. And then she just kept going at like 20 times speed. But that summed it up.
Let's talk about Halden. Halden pissed me off so much. And when I picture him in his little basket being carried, I just want to cackle because it's so funny. That's what you get. You sound horrible.
What is wrong with this guy? Narcissism at its finest.
Ugh.
I'm blown away. Like, he's just the perfect guy to bring if you don't want your plan to go according to plan. Just bring Halden.
And the king of whatever island they were on, the king told Xaden and Violet, like, you cannot have the king of whatever being carried around in a basket. I was like, yes, we can. He's horrible. And when Halden's guard was being eaten by those big cats, I don't remember what they were. I was so scared.
Like, she had a name, too. Some chick that got eaten.
I don't remember. Don't remember.
She didn't last very long in the book.
So there's this one quote, and it was, I don't understand. You're our generation shadow wielder when someone else was getting their signet. And Xaden said, not anymore. Magic knows. He is the balance. I was like, oh my god, Xaden's about to die. Xaden's about to die. What's happening? I'm so sad.
Yeah. What else was crazy was freaking Violet at the end of the book. She wakes up and...
my gosh, yeah.
She's married? She's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I really, really, really hope we get to see these scenes, like, immediately in the next book. I don't want to be left in the dark, but I feel it's going to be a whole mystery.
We missed out on their wedding scene.
Yeah.
Like, I needed that.
Yeah, just like Aelin and Rowan, I think you had said before. We didn't get to see them really get married. We just heard about it.
Oh, they like Feyre and Rhysand, we didn't see their wedding. Yeah, everyone keeps not giving us what we need.
I'm like, why? I mean,
I know.
It should be this grand thing, and it never is. Not in these fantasy books.
Right. Going to that chapter you were talking about, that last one where Violet wakes up. Violet reads a note and she says, don't come for me, it's yours now. For me, I perceive it to be Xaden's soul and not, I don't know how you pronounce it, Tyrandor? Whatever.
Tyrandor.
Tyrandor. And people think that it's Tyrandor. But here's the thing, Xaden always referred to Tyrandor as she. He always gave it she needs this, she needs whatever. He never said it. So it is his soul to me.
You know, that's so interesting that you caught all this because I didn't. But also, I'm not looking at the words on the pages. I'm listening.
Well, whenever I saw it and he said, it's yours now, I was like, he would have said, she's yours now. And Violet would know what he's talking about. So I caught that when I read it.
Wait, this is clicking for me right now, and I'm getting chills on my arms.
And we finally, in Onyx Storm, we finally got Violet's dad's name. His name is Asher. And Asher sounds sort of shady. From what we've heard in Onyx Storm, he has been trying to do something with Violet being like a priestess with Dune. And they
Yeah.
can't, and apparently they couldn't do it because Violet has another path and they can only do it with children whose futures are certain. So Asher, you sound shady. I want to know what else you've been up to.
Yeah, they definitely took her or something, and
Yeah.
then that's how she got her hair the way it is, because she's part them.
Yeah.
And I wonder when we'll get that story. There's so much to untangle in the next book that I don't know if we're
Mhm.
going to get it all untangled in the
Right.
next book. One thing I think we will have solved is how she got married out of the blue.
Hopefully.
And then the whole priestess thing, I think they're going to show up again and
Yeah.
help them beat the Venant or whatever.
Yeah.
This Theophany chick just showed up out of
Theophany.
nowhere. Yeah, she is...
Like Theophany. Theophany was like a really good villain for me.
Yeah,
One of my
no.
favorite villains. She was really good.
She's really good. I just hate how she's showing up now in book 3.
Yeah.
I wish she would have shown up a little sooner,
Yeah.
maybe in book 2. Because all of a sudden
Yeah.
she's like this really important person
Yeah.
who's always on Violet's tail and
Yeah.
always there fighting Violet whenever they have these fighting scenes. But like, where was she last
Yeah.
book? So,
How did you feel when we all thought that Mira was dying? Because I think you texted me. You were like, I think Mira's about to die, or you said something. You were like, I'm
Yeah.
driving right now.
yeah, I listened to Gilmer and then from Gilmer, which that's almost a 4-hour drive for me. So 8 hours worth of audiobook listening to and from a place. And then, yeah, when I heard that part, I was like, now Violet has no one except her brother, I guess. But we hardly saw him this book. So I was shocked. I did not see that coming. I was surprised when they saved her.
Yeah, me
because
too.
I did not expect that from Rebecca Yarros. I just knew that she was going to die because
Yeah.
that's how every Rebecca Yarros book goes.
Literally,
There's
yeah.
very little ever reviving a character because then it just
Mhm.
takes away your stakes. Is that logic
Yeah.
is what Rebecca has. What did you think?
Guys, I cried throughout this whole book. When they had Mira and they slit her throat or whatever it was, I cried. I think everything with siblings reminds me of my sisters. So I'll text and be like, this character just died and it reminded me of you guys. I love y'all. I don't know why. Things make me think of my sisters so much. But I thought that Mira was gonna die. I did not expect Sloane to be able to give her power, to siphon her power to help Mira come back. So I didn't think so.
Yeah, things have gotten so abstract with the books.
Yeah.
They're not very black and white. There's so much gray area in terms of what these characters can do. And
Mhm.
Sloane being an example. She can siphon power like we saw with Violet's mom, and now she's giving it to Mira, which is very
What
crazy.
did you think about Rhiannon's point of view? Did you like it or...
I don't even remember what her point of view was.
Right, yep.
What was the purpose? She was flying. There was no one that I remember dying.
I think that the purpose of Rhiannon's point of view was to show that she is this leader of her people now, and it also got to show us Riddick using his signet, which is ice wielding, so we got to see that. But it just felt really long. And the thing is, before her point of view, Violet is fighting with Theophany, and Violet is leaning into her blade. Next, and I thought Violet was trying to kill herself so she wouldn't have to turn Venom. Next page, it cut to Rhiannon's point of view. I was like, oh my god, did she just die? What is happening right now?
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Do you want to talk about theories? I have so many theories.
I know. I guess anything I've theorized, I've already talked about, which is not even a theory, but you have so many. You are so good at theories. And I'm just like, well, he is going to turn bad because there's 5 books in the series. We're only on book 3. But you have so many, and I would love to expand on your theories because I'm seeing the first 5 words of her first theory, guys. My brain is exploding right now.
I've seen this everywhere, and this is my favorite theory. I think that Violet is pregnant. The countdown in Onyx Storm from the last time that Violet and Xaden were intimate with each other is so specific. Violet is always talking about her not feeling good, feeling weak, and I was like, okay, maybe it's her whatever, I don't remember what it's called, her having this. And also, raising kids in Onyx Storm was brought up so many times. I think Kat and one of her friends were talking, and Kat is saying that raising kids in Best Gaiath would not be ideal. They also always talked about having an heir to Tyrandor?
Tyrandor.
Tyrandor. Yeah, and then Sigale was talking to Xaden at the end of the book, and Sigale says, I don't think Taryn will let you near her, especially since she's in a vulnerable state. So I was like, is she pregnant? I think she's pregnant.
How did you catch that?
I don't know.
Mind blown, because obviously now when you put it in this format on this page, that connects the dots so well. How is she not pregnant?
Exactly.
What?
But the thing is that Rebecca Yarros has, because people have asked if Sigale and Taryn will have children, and Rebecca Yarros has said they don't want to have kids because of the climate and what's happening with the war and stuff. But I was like, okay, well, maybe Violet and Xaden, not on purpose, are having this child. So maybe. We'll see.
Do you have any other theories?
Girl, you know I do.
I know you do.
My second favorite one is about Sloane. We didn't really get to see a lot of Sloane in this book, but hypothetically, can't she help cure Venom? She's a siphon, so she can pull Venom power out and then give it back to the Earth. Doesn't that make sense? Like, I'm like, I think Sloane is like the puzzle piece that everyone is looking for, and I think that Sloane will be a big character in the next book.
I would hate to have her power. When other people are over here wielding lightning and shadows, I'm like, an adapter. I can adapt you to this or whatever.
Sloane in Onyx Storm is hesitant to use her siphoning power, and she didn't want to use it on Mira because the last time that she used it, she killed Violet's mom. So she's like, I don't want to do it. I can't do it. I think she'll be in the next book a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. McCayleigh's not going to get this because she does not like Harry Potter, but I think that Violet has the last piece of Xaden's soul in her ring. Sort of like the Horcruxes in Harry Potter, where Voldemort was splitting his soul.
What?
Yes.
That did not make any sense.
Well, here's the thing, because
I
talked about earlier with Xaden's writing saying, it's yours now, meaning Xaden's soul. So I wonder if there's some sort of magical way he was able to put his soul into this ring and give it to Violet. I don't know. I like that. Just because I love Harry Potter. Y'all know I look for Harry Potter everywhere.
I want to read it. It's on the top of my TBR, so I will read it very soon. And then when I do, I want you to watch Pirates of the Caribbean. Please.
I will.
I'll be like, hey, I'm just starting Harry Potter. I expect you to finish the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie by the time I'm done.
I know. I will do it.
Another theory that I see on your long list of theories is that Dane is a memory reader and he can maybe help Violet get her memories back.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely going to happen, and that will just make us like Dane even more. If he hasn't already redeemed himself, he will in the next book. Goodness.
Yeah. But I guess my last theory, I will stop with this one. I think that Ark will die. We know that Ark now is a precognition, which means he can tell the future. So there's a quote that he says, I will fight in this war, most likely to die. So I think that's him kind of telling us readers that he's going to die in the next book. Rebecca Yarros also said that there's someone big, like a big character that's going to die in her next book. And she's like, y'all will not be ready for it. I think that it's going to be Arik.
Yeah.
I love him.
I'm scared it'll either be Arik or Riddick. I feel like if it's not Arik, it'll be Riddick.
Yeah, I agree.
Think, because she just made us love Riddick so much in this book, and he was in so much of the story. Oh, that makes me scared.
I can't stop with that theory. I just read, this, I promise, is my last theory. I promise. Here's my last one. Violet's brother, Brennan, he is so shady. He has got this rune on his hand that he hasn't really talked about. People think that it's a scar he's got in a war or something, but it's a rune. People have said that Violet has said that it looks like a rune, but she's not sure. Brennan was in love with Naolan, which was Taryn's first rider. It's theorized. Naolan is now Venom, and Taryn knows. This is why Taryn never wants to talk about Naolan. And I think in the next book that Brennan will go to, I guess, like the other side, like the Venom side, and possibly be a big betrayer of Violet to be back with Naolan.
That makes so much sense.
I know.
Because, yeah, Taryn is like, I don't talk about past writers or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just remember that vividly. I'm like, why not, bro? But, ooh. And we didn't get to see a lot of Brennan in this book.
I'm like, Brandon, where are you?
He's
What are you
scheming
doing right now?
He
Yes.
is scheming.
I think so.
Wow. And we have so many great theories. I wish I could contribute more, but I could not top a single one that you had already written down. But with all that being said, I would say you are our top girl when it comes to dragons and things, which is exactly why I'm here to quiz you. So,
oh no. Okay.
My goodness. So what we are going to do is I'm going to give you a little which Basgiath cadet are you quiz.
Ooh.
So this quiz is inspired by Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. So just choose the answer that best fits you, and then we will get your results at the end.
Yay!
All right. So you are facing the gauntlet for the first time. What's your approach? Is it analyze the obstacles and plan every step? Run full speed ahead, no fear? Watch others go first to learn their mistakes? Or encourage your squad mates before you tackle it together?
Analyze it first.
Perfect. A battle breaks out on the parapet. What's your instinct? Assess the situation and look for weak spots? Fight head-on without hesitation? Sneak around to flank the enemy? Protect your closest friends?
Protect my friends.
All right. If you had a dragon, what would their greatest strength be? Intelligence and precision? Speed and ferocity? Stealth and unpredictability? Or compassion and resilience?
Intelligence.
Okay. What's your go-to training motto? Knowledge wins wars. Pain is temporary, victory is forever. Survive today, fight tomorrow. Strength is found in unity.
Aw, that last one's so good. I like the last one. Strength is found in unity. That's cute.
Know, that was cute. What motivates you most? Discovering new secrets of the world? Proving your strength to yourself and others? Outsmarting your enemies? Or protecting the people you love?
Protecting the people.
I knew you'd choose that one. I'd already highlighted it. Okay, let me get your results. Okay, so you mostly chose D, which that means you are most like Andarna.
Aww.
You are loyal, empathetic, and stronger than you look. And the others you could have gotten were Violet, Xaden, or Brennan. So I think you got a good one.
I like that. Yay. Well, before we go, I'm going to give a reminder. We have merch that's out right now. It's all over our socials, so it's going to be in our link tree wherever you find us. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. It'll be in our link tree. I'm wearing something now. I'll show y'all if you're watching. Yeah. It says, plot twists are my love language, with this cute little heart book graphic in the middle. So go check it out. It's probably been out now for 3 weeks. There's a ton of designs on there. There's something for everyone. That's a wrap on today's episode of Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. We hope that you enjoyed hearing all of our thoughts about Onyx Storm. We would love to hear what you guys thought about this episode, so send us a message or comment on our socials.
Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting us. If you're interested in being a guest on our podcast, check out our Instagram or Facebook page at Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. There's a sign-up form in our link tree. From our link tree, you can also visit our website, sign up for our email newsletter, and check out our brand new merch.
Yes, and if you want, guys, you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Haley's.books.
And you can follow me on Instagram at McCayleigh Daniels.
Join us for our next episode. We are going to be discussing our love for audiobooks and our book club read, The Courting of Bristol Keats. So excited, can't wait for you guys to listen.
And you can expect a podcast episode from us every Thursday. See you next time! Bye!
Bye!